It's that time of year for people to come out in full force to support the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society's Light the Night Walk. Joining me now is my colleague and dear friend, Dr. Mel Goldstein, celebrating 14 years as a cancer survivor, and Luann Leclerc, campaign manager for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society's Light the Night Walk. Great to have you both here.
Well, it's wonderful to be here.
I saw you putting your arms up like this.
Yes. When you said we need support, you know.
We do.
Yeah, come out and support us. I mean, it is absolutely amazing, you know, to me. You know, the story is well known about myself. When I was diagnosed with cancer, it was back in 1996. And, you know, there wasn't much hope. There really wasn't much hope. I mean, you had chemo or more chemo, and that was all that was available.
But for those people who don't know, Mel, you were diagnosed with multiple myeloma.
Yeah, it's a blood cancer. It's a cancer of the bone marrow where your blood cells are created. And because the cancer is in there, then it travels throughout your entire body. And at that time, back in 96, people who were diagnosed with this disease, if they lived 2 years, if they lived 3 years, that would be a lot.
Well, you were a miracle.
Well, you know, but something special, something really special happened at that time. It was a renaissance in terms of medical care and of treatment and of advances that were taking place. I immediately went into a trial, and here I am, 14 years later, taking the same medication that I took 14 years ago, and it's still working, and as we say in weather, there is no end in sight.
And you are still smiling, which is great, because this is what we want to see, a smile on your face. Now, Luann, the statistics are a bit daunting. Every 4 minutes, someone is diagnosed with a blood cancer, and every 10 minutes, someone dies. It's not good. Thousands of people are diagnosed with blood cancers every year.
Mm-hmm. We've come so far in our research, thanks to supporters, thanks to the researchers that we fund. But we're not there yet. As long as we still have, you know, one person who's losing a battle to a blood cancer, we haven't made it to where we need to be. Dr. Mel is correct. We've come so far in such a short time, and it's a miracle.
It wasn't an accident that this kind of advancement took place over the last 10, 15 years. It came about because of the contributions made by so many people to the Leukemia Society so that research could get underway and new treatments could be developed. It was no accident. And the beautiful thing about all of this is that not only are people living longer, but the help that people provided really made a difference. It didn't go into some kind of, I don't know what, administration. You know, it went into the research lab, and out of the research lab came these wondrous cures. If not cures, treatments.
I know my family has also benefited. I'm wearing this orange band so that I remember my nephew's battle with leukemia. He was diagnosed with it earlier this year. Andy is 18 years old now. He's doing very well, and he's still continuing with his treatment. But we all know someone or a family member who has been diagnosed with a blood cancer.
Who doesn't have a loved one? Who doesn't have a neighbor? Who doesn't have an acquaintance who doesn't have cancer?
That's right. And this Saturday, a lot of people can do a lot of help if they got involved with Light the Night Walk. Luann, let's talk more about that. How many people are you expecting to come out for this?
Well, in New Haven alone, which is this Saturday at Lighthouse Point Park, I'm expecting over 900 people, which is wonderful. And Dr. Mel has given us a wonderful weather forecast, which is something I haven't had since I've been the pleasure of doing this walk.
Forget about Friday's weather. Think about Saturday's weather.
And it'll be perfect for
It's going to be wonderful. And you know what? I don't sweat the weather anymore, because the first time I met Dr. Mel at the walk, he said it was pouring, and I thought I was going to blow away. And he said to me, "What's a little bad weather after everything we've been through?" So I've learned to never sweat the weather after that. The battle of cancer far exceeds the weather that it may bring. But to have the celebration come to the park that night and have people gather together with their families, their friends, we have sponsors and companies, and it's the best part of the walk is seeing everyone come together for all their reasons, whether it's celebrating a loved one's milestones like Dr. Mal's going to be doing, or commemorating a loved one that was not as lucky, that didn't get to reap the benefits, that everyone could. And that's important. The walk gets to handle not just the cancer, but the families and the friends and everybody as a whole. And so we have the gold balloons for our loved ones that we've lost, white balloons for Dr. Mal, and for all the survivors. And it's wonderful. We keep getting more and more white balloons, and that's what we want to see. The sky with white balloons. And then we have red balloons that just revolve around all the people, and those are for the supporters. And when you see that, and you get goosebumps thinking about it, because it really brings home the mission that if you work together and you do one thing, you're going to make a difference in the life of somebody touched with blood cancers.
And registration is at 5:30.
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock. Okay.
Yes, we do, because we have so many people coming. Registration's at 5, and registration goes between 5 and 6:30 or so. We have memory rides and survivor rides. We have the wonderful carousel there and the carousel room. We have Dr. Mal celebrating his 65. Can I tell him?
Sure.
65. I almost said his age out loud. 65 year birthday, which is wonderful.
That is a major milestone.
Yes, Dr. Mel and I don't sweat our age anymore because, if you're here to tell how old you are, you're doing good.
Well, it's my 65th birthday,
yes.
And it's commemorating the 14th year with multiple myeloma.
Amazing.
And,
People also need to know, Mel, that you are the oldest living survivor of multiple myeloma in your stage of cancer.
Well, I'm up there.
Yes, you are.
I'm up. And in terms of the treatment, I don't know if anybody has taken this particular treatment any longer than I have. And it wasn't FDA approved at the time, but it was in trials. And there's a little message here that don't be afraid of medical trials. People think that medical trials, it's just experimental. No. There are a lot of safeguards in medical trials, and if you want to have access to the latest, not just the newest drug, but the drugs beyond new, this is a way that you might be able to achieve it. And one of my goals, really, locally at Yale, is to develop a research program where people can have trials for these different drugs for blood cancers.
And the money raised Saturday and all the other walks this month will really go to research as well as patient services. Is that right, Luann?
Absolutely. One of the reasons that I work here today is because I have to work at a society that is efficient with their money. And when I ask people to raise funds and to be a part of something, I want the money to go where it needs to go. And it goes towards research, and it goes for patient education and programs and services and support groups. And that's what it's all about. The money needs to go where it's supposed to go, and it does. Just like Dr. Mal said, people are reaping the benefits, and I couldn't be more proud to work for the organization.
Well, let's put the information on the screen right now.
That'd be great.
We have multiple locations. All the information is on the screen, or you can come to our website. Thank you both for being here.
Well,
great, and I have T-shirts for you.
Oh, thank you very much.
Here's the T-shirts we'll get today.
Very colorful.
And Dr. Mal, you get your White Survivor one.
Coming up next.